So it's time now for our topical chat, where we take a look at some of the stories making the headlines this morning. Joining me at the breakfast bar is William Turvill, news editor of the Press Gazette. Great to see you, William. Thanks for coming in. The first story we're going to kick off with then is GCHQ, the sort of intelligence hub of the UK, is now able to sort of spy on people's mail and Facebook accounts. So what do we make of this story? This is an interesting one, considering the whole sort of privacy issues that were going on earlier on in the year.
Yes. I think reading the story, I wasn't too surprised. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm happy about it. Wasn't too surprised though. You know, these sorts of stories have been coming out over the last last several months, and I think I wasn't too surprised about it. I mean, when I post something on Facebook, when I Google search, when I send a tweet, I don't necessarily expect that to remain private anymore. Well, especially a tweet, but even a Google search, I think you know, you kind of expect that someone to be seeing that somewhere. I
know, it seems to be, you know, everything you sort of look into and search and look for on the internet can be manipulated in ways either for sales or for advertising. Yeah, but now it seems to be for other means, really, to kind of check upon security. So I guess in one way you can see how it can be positive, but, you know, surely you wouldn't be too happy if your emails were getting monitored for, you know, on your Yahoo account or your Google Mail account, for sure.
No, emails are definitely certainly different. In terms of Google searches, I think I'd prefer that GCHQ were seeing what I was doing rather than some kind of marketing people. Sure, exactly. Generally. But emails, yeah, that really does cross the line, definitely.
Next story then, poor white pupils need best teachers and long days. So this is a story about how white working class children in schools around the capital, but also across the country, are being failed at the moment. So the government's Education Select Committee is saying that they need better quality teachers to attract sort of better results, essentially, for this demographic. So this is often a forgotten about kind of sort of group in schools and group in society, isn't it? Because we hear about, you know, ethnic minority sort of groups that are being failed and let down and not represented. But this is a really interesting topic, because I think that, you know, personally, that not enough is done to tackle this demographic and this age group and this sort of race kind of line in schools. What do you reckon about this?
Yes, I think you're right. I mean, I think it is a forgotten group of people. And the recommendations, more homework, more homework at school, I think that's a good idea generally, although if I was in their shoes, I'm sure I wouldn't be too happy about having to stay an extra couple of hours at work. In terms of sending good teachers there, I think that's a good idea in practice. I noticed the Department for Education pointed to its Teach First scheme and things like that, showing that it is sending teachers there. I'm not too sure that sending recent graduates to school to poor areas is necessarily the best idea, because, you know, they're not the most experienced, and, you know, they may go in there thinking I can change the world, but I'm not too sure that's the best way of doing it, and I think you need to incentivize more experienced teachers.
Sure. So this is a really funny story now we're going to tackle. Funny in the fact that it made me laugh out loud when I read it. A man's romantic date up in a tree went horribly wrong. How did it go wrong, William? What do you reckon about this one? This is I just would not want this to happen to me at all.
Oh, I know. Well, having said that, I had a slightly similar situation. I took my girlfriend up a tree in Greenwich Park recently. It wasn't as high. I think this was 7 metres, which is too high. I was only up about 2.5 metres, so it's still quite a big jump, and it was a bit scary. But yeah, this is a real mess up for him. I'm not sure. I don't think we've seen whether they're going to carry on dating or not. I think she might need a couple of maybe a week away from him to recover.
I know, pretty traumatic experience. This happened in Florida, in America. So there we are. Don't do that at home. Don't go to a date in a tree unless you've got like proper facilities to get up there and get down. And this one is now related to the World Cup. It's a rather big fan. He's a parrot, and he's got a really good chant. So let's have a listen to this. So this This is 9-year-old African grey Slipmat whistling the tune to The Great Escape and chanting, "Come on, Rooney." So this is what all fans need to sort of, act like, I guess, when we're out on the terraces. You know, get behind the England team. What do you reckon about this?
Yeah, very patriotic Parrot. I think I'm very impressed. Shame about the Rooney line. Well, you know, if Rooney's not playing on Thursday, the Parrot's going to look a bit silly. But yeah, very, very impressive. I've got a budgie at home and I haven't taught it to do anything, so I'm impressed with the owner more than the Parrot, I suppose.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, it takes a lot of training to get a Parrot to be able to do that. Good stuff. William, thank you very much indeed for that. So.